Not taking the chance. Oh, nice serve, Amir. Oh, look at you thinking you're all good. Come on, you got 8 seconds.
I learned from the best.
You got 5 seconds.
Go in my head.
I learned from the best.
Hello and welcome to the Gifford Gymnasium for this crosstown rivalry volleyball matchup between the Indians of Wayne Valley and our Patriots of Wayne Hills. Alongside Jason Hook, I am Luca Yanuzzi, and we bring you this matchup from our own Wayne Hills TV studio. So a quick summary on both teams, as this is our first boys volleyball matchup that we've done so far this season. Wayne Hills has started off their season 1-1 with their first game, a loss, 2-0 loss to Fairlawn, and a 2-1 win against Lakeland was their last game. And Wayne Valley with a slightly less exhilarating start, as 3 straight losses, 2-0 to Fairlawn, 2-1 to Lakeland, and 2-0 to West Milford. That was their last game. So this crosstown rivalry game surely is an important one. With Wayne Hills coming off a win there, going to try and keep that momentum going and carrying throughout the rest of the season. And Wayne Valley is just trying to get something started here. So, Jason, as this is our first time seeing these two teams so far this season, what are your first impressions from their records previously?
Well, we have, of course, the Patriots looking to break 500 here on this game. And we have the Indians looking to get their first win so far in the season. You know, usually these crosstown rivalry games are very exciting to watch, but I have a feeling this one's going to be a bit slower considering these two teams haven't had, you know, a very good season so far. It's kind of been a little underwhelming, especially from both teams that have amazing sports programs, to see their teams not doing so well, and it's definitely something that we're going to have to watch out for, see what the pace of this game is going to be like.
The game is underway with the first serve. That one's going to go out of bounds, and that is going to lead to Wayne Hills with their first point, taking a 1-0 lead. They're set up a nice block over, trying to get onto the other side of the net. They're able to. Valley with the spike comes down, and Hills retaliates there. But that one's going to go off the net, and it's going to be a point for Wayne Valley to tie things up at 1 here.
Yeah, on that last play, we saw amazing coordination for that Indians team, and that's something that they got to keep up for the rest of the game, as that coordination, that teamwork is definitely going to help them in the long run. As that's another point there. This time it's going to be for the Patriots.
And another big spike there, leading to that second point, and that's going to get them the lead, and now they are set to serve. Lobbed up, set, hit right over. And a great spike there from Vandervelden. Valley able to keep control of it, though, and send it right back over. Vandervelden again with more of a lob shot over this time. And that one's going to go out of bounds, I believe. That's going to be, yes, it will go out of bounds, and it's another point for Wayne Hills, 3-1.
That one's going to go a little too far there. They got to watch out on their momentum, on their velocity of each hit, as they don't want to hit it too far and they don't want to hit it too low. It's one of those sports where perfection is the only option, you know. They say, you know, nobody's perfect, but in volleyball you got to be as close to perfect as humanly possible, or else it's going to go in the other team's favor.
We did just see a great dig save from Valley there. Trying to get it back over his Hills, they do. And setting over a great dig diving save and another one, and they're able to keep it up but not get it over the net. And that's going to give Valley another point, making it 3-2.
So far, a lot of back and forth. I believe Hills is the only team that has scored scored 2 or more points in a row so far. As it went back and forth, it started off with a Hills point, then a Valley point, then it went back to. And as you can see, Valley gets 2 in a row there, as both teams have not had, you know, these big runs. It's really been back and forth with each score. It went Hills, then Valley, then Hills, then Hills, and then Valley twice in a row here as they tie it up. And they're about to serve again.
And that serve is going to end up, that return actually is going to end up hitting the net, and that gives a point to Wayne Hills. 4-3, they take the lead back. Serve from the Patriots is good. Spiked over. Set up for the spike there. That's Zach Vandervelden with the spike over. And it's going to end up being a point for Hills.
That went a little bit too far to the left for that Valley player, as, you know, we saw that the guy on the right-hand side, he tried going for that one. He saw it was about to go out of bounds. He turned around. He said, no, I'm not going to touch it. And he's going to get the point for his team. And that'll be a spike there, a beautiful one. That'll get Hills another point. As that'll be 3 in a row right now. They might be starting a bit of a run here.
A great, powerful spike there from the Patriots, able to get them another point. And that might be an ace on the serve. No, it's going to be out of bounds, and that's going to give Wayne Valley a point. So now Wayne Valley down 6-4. But now they are set to serve as they make a substitution. Elliot Franklin, the senior, coming into the game, as well as number 30, the senior Ryan Matthews. Valley serve, bit of a wild hit there, and Wayne Hills can't do anything about that one. Once they lost control of it, it was all downhill from there, and a great ace serve there for Wayne Valley, and that gets them within 1 point of tying the game.
Yeah, he saw his teammate almost hit the ball out of bounds. He had to reach out. He actually jumped out of bounds and tried to hit it midair. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a circus shot, and that did not end very well for the Patriots. However, on that return, they did end up getting the point, as it's now Patriots serve.
Return over from Valley. Is that good for the spike? Give it a little lob over. Didn't see that one coming. They have to make the diving dig save, and they do. Valley's return right to Tyler Vandervelden. And the Hills return, setting for the spike. The spike looks like it was blocked, but it might have hit the net. Yes, it did hit the net. And that's going to give Wayne Valley a point. Yeah, Vandervelden's a name you're going to be hearing a lot in this game, as we have the Vandervelden triplets, Evan, Tyler, and Zach.
Yeah, they've got 3 of them. You're going to be seeing a little bit of triple, and you might be hearing triple, but we are talking about, I believe that was Tyler Vandervelden on that last one that, unfortunately, he did not score the point for that Hills team, and Valley retains possession as they now serve.
Great spike over there from Hills, but Valley returns. And now Hills with a little lob over. Again, Valley wasn't seeing that one coming, but they are able to save it once again. Hills trying to get it back over, and that one's going to end up falling. It's going to be a 7-7 tied game with that. An unfortunate mishap there close up to the net. It's the bottom of the net, and Wayne Hills can't get that ball back up. Now Valley staying serving here. Big spike over there from number 6, Ryan Song. But Valley still somehow is able to get it back over. And the nice lob over right there is going to get Wayne Hills a point. Actually, no, they give the point to Valley.
That one was a little far to the left there. He tried to hit it to the other side. You saw a lot of those Valley players were far on their left side, so he tried to hit it to Hill's left side. Unfortunately, that was just a bit too far as that one went out of bounds, and that'll be another ball out of bounds. This time it will be on Wayne Valley, and that'll be a Hills point there.
So now it is an 8-8 tied game as Wayne Hills comes to serve. Set right over, and it looks like that's going to be out of bounds for a Wayne Hills point. So now Wayne Hills taking the lead back 9-8.
So far, it's been a very close game. A lot of back and forth, a lot of long possessions. A lot of time has been taken so far for each point, and that's something you'd love to see with this teamwork between each team. And it's great to see each member, working together, trying to keep that ball. Trying to hit it onto the other side, trying to make sure that they do the best they can possibly do. As this is the crosstown rivalry. They really want to give it their all out here. They give it their all every single game, but especially when they're playing against Valley, they gotta give it that extra 200%.
So on the last 2 points that Wayne Hills just scored, so for point number 10, Wayne Valley player put out an all-out dive, still couldn't get to that one. An amazing block from Wayne Hills just led to that 11th point, and now they're up by 3, 11-8. And that one's going to sail far out of bounds. So now they have a 4-point lead, their biggest lead so far of the game, 12-8. And a great save to keep it in bounds, but they can't get it over the net. It's going to be 13-8 Patriots.
Yeah, and now the Patriots are more than halfway to taking this set, as the Wayne Valley Indians are yet to break the double digits, as that one will be their 9th point, as they do get 1 point closer to the Patriots, as that makes it a 4-point game here, 13-9, and that'll be another one. Yeah, that'll be another turnover for Wayne Valley, as Hills now sets it up for this one, as they've been really taking it away these past minute or so of gameplay. We've seen them take a lot of these points away from that Valley team, and that's definitely something that Valley going into that second set, they got to make sure that they don't let anything happen from Hills.
So after a serve hitting the net, then a Valley serve out of bounds, it gives it back to Hills. And now Hills off on that serve with an ace serve, hit it too far back and couldn't get it over the net on that third hit, so they just let it fall, and it hit the net, was almost there but couldn't quite get over, as now Wayne Valley takes a timeout and Wayne Hills has a 15-9 lead.
Yeah, much needed timeout for Wayne Valley, as at the start of the game they really were keeping it back and forth with the Patriots, and recently they've really been letting too many points get past them. Too many times have they let the ball, land on the floor. Too many times have they hit it out of bounds, and that's definitely, they got to keep their focus if they want to, bring back this set and possibly take this one home.
And a serve from the Patriots. He's going to end up sailing out of bounds, and it's going to be a point for Wayne Valley. So 15-10 now, the score. And Wayne Valley making a substitution. Ryan Matthews comes out of the game. It looks like the junior number 3, Ryan Kwan, is going into the game. Another lob return from Hills. And easy to recover that one for Valley. Sending it over to Tyler Vandervelden. And the setup for the spike from Morales. Able to be saved by Valley, and it looks like that one might have gone out. No, it did. Oh my goodness, it did end up staying in. 16-10. Wayne Hills Patriots increased their lead to 6. Now their biggest lead of the game.
Hills is slowly taking this one away, as that'll put them up by 6 points. As they've definitely had the better coordination, and right as I say that, they have a little bit of a miscommunication there, and that'll be a Wayne Valley point.
Yeah, a bit of a mishap there from number 20, Brandon Caprioni. A familiar name, was part of the Wayne Hills Patriot basketball team this year, as well as number 21, Zachary Muller, but we haven't seen him come into the game just yet. So after Valley serve, a great dig save there, having to crab crawl back out of the way. An amazing move there by that Wayne Hills player. And a nice block there from Hills. So that's going to get them the point, 17-11. That was almost majestic the way he just walked back. It's like a 300 IQ play right there.
You saw that. You saw a person from Valley just jump up, hit that ball, go for the spike, and he jumped up. He said, "Not today." He kind of swatted that one, and it just went straight back, and that one hit the floor. As now they're up by 6 again.
And I believe there's going to be a violation called there. And that's going to give Wayne Valley a point. And now it is 17-12. Wayne Hills still up by 5. He serves from Valley, straight return over, but that one's going to go wide to the left, giving Wayne Valley yet another point. So that one brings it to a lead of 4 for the Patriots.
Looks like Valley is slowly coming back from their deficit from before. That'll be a diving play. Unfortunately, that'll be no good, as that'll go to the bleachers, as we saw that Hills player go for that one, and unfortunately he just missed it. And that one bounces out of his reach, and that'll go to Wayne Valley.
Valley serves, setting up the spike for Evan Vandervelden. Nearly successful, but that Valley player just dove back and was able to save it. And it looks like that's going to get them a point. Yes, it will, as it does drop inbounds, just barely. So now, from down 6, they are now within 2 points of tying the game. And Tyler Vandervelden shoots it high just to get it over. Hit over by Tyler Vandervelden again. And it looks like that one's going to be a point, as it went out of bounds off the ricochet off that Valley player. So now it's going to go back to Hills, 18-15. Good serve, Valley able to make the return. Setting up a great spike there, and definitely an amazing spike there, but a bit too much power on it. You did see that Valley player dive for it, but he did not end up touching, as you saw that was going to soar out of bounds. It was great quick reflex there to adjust to that and avoid touching it. So now that gives the ball right back to Valley. And again, their deficit only down to 2 now. So Wayne Hills needing to do a bit of stepping things up here if they want to keep themselves in this one. Great spike there from Zach Vandervelden, and that one's going to give Wayne Hills a point. Excuse me, that was actually number 6, Ryan Song, with that spike. So now 19-16. Wayne Hills just 6 points away from taking this first set. And that one is going to end up hitting the net. And it is going to be 20-16. So now Wayne Hills within 5 of taking a first set win. Making a good first impression here within this game. As we said about the girls volleyball team, it was actually all games for Hills and all except one game for Wayne Valley that had gone 2-0 and winning both straight sets. And there's only been one game for each team so far that has gone 2-1 with both being Lakeland actually. Wayne Valley ended up losing to Lakeland and Wayne Hills won that game. And now Wayne Hills yet again scoring another point and Wayne Valley calls a timeout. Now 22-16. Wayne Hills almost there, just 3 away from taking a win in this first set.
It's definitely hard after, losing that first set to come back and win the second one. After that second, once you're into that one, your momentum kind of shifts towards the team that have scored the most amount of points. I mean, you hit that 25 mark after that first set and you feel great. You're about to go into that second set and you're ready to win anything. I believe we have a replay of an earlier point from Hills. As you can see here, we have the save right there. Amazing. I believe that was Ryan Song, number 6. It's it back up to his teammate, and then number 13, it's it back over to him. That'll be number 14, actually, my bad, TJ Grohl, who gets it over to the Indian side, and they'll score for them, as it is now a 6-point game.
And that was an amazing play there that we saw. Now Wayne Hills serve, and I believe that one's going to fall out of bounds for another Wayne Hills point. Yes, it will. 23-16, 2 points away. Wayne Hills with a rally on this serve here. And a spike over from Valley. Nearly saved by Tyler Vandervelden, but not there in time, and that's going to give the first point to Wayne Valley in a while. Now 23-17. They're still down by a bit, so they're going to need a rally themselves if they want a chance here in this first set. So the serve over, returned by Tyler Vandervelden. Trying to make a diving save there is Wayne Valley's captain. It is to no avail. So now within 1 point, it is set point now for Wayne Hills, 24-17. There is the serve. It from far back. Still gets over though. And the spike from Hills is returned out of bounds, so it is going to be a 25-17 first set win for the Patriots.
We saw that Indians player hit it up for that Patriots player to spike it right back down on the block, and he ended up hitting it back out of bounds, and that'll give them the point that they need to win that first set. That momentum is going to go right to Hills as they're about to go into their second set, and they're ready for anything. They're ready to possibly keep winning this. Wayne Valley, they're going to need a lot of skill to really come back and win this one, as the second set is one of the harder sets to win because you're coming off of a loss in the first one. If you win that second set, then you're going on to the third set with more momentum with the other team.
Yeah, I don't know what order the sets were won in the Lakeland game for Wayne Hills, but I'm going to assume that maybe they won that first set, ended up losing the second, and then came back in the third. But again, it could have also happened this way, that they won the second and third. So we still need to keep staying strong out there and putting out our all, because Wayne Valley very well could step their game up here. It's not like they're a much worse team than we are, and they very well could potentially end up coming back. So Wayne Hills still needs to put their all out there, and one set win doesn't get you the win of the match. You need to win 2 sets for that. So Wayne Hills really needs to stay out there and keep their awareness and put out what they put out in that first set into that second set, and hopefully end up coming out with another win here and have that momentum carrying out for 2 wins in a row.
Both teams are close in record, with Valley playing 3 games. They lost all 3. And Hills playing 2 games. They won 1 and lost 1. So they're very close. One team with 1 win and the other team with no wins. This could be this could get Hills to break 500, or this could get Valley their first win so far this season. Either way, that's going to be great for them going into their next game, as if Valley's coming off of a win, they'll have more of a reason to try to win the next one. If Hills is coming off a win which breaks them out of 500, they'll have more of a reason to try to keep on going, keep on gaining those wins, and get themselves to, a great season.
And again, we will mention again, because of COVID complications, the girls' volleyball season would usually be in the fall, but it ended up getting moved to the spring, so that took up the earlier months of the season. And the boys' volleyball season has just started, and it's just to start from here. They have at least 10 more or so games after this one to potentially better their seasons. So again, it's just the start for both these 2 teams. Anything can happen within the next upcoming games. So now it appears that Wayne Hills is going to start off serving here. Starting off the second half with that serve, and it looks like it's going to sail over and out of bounds, and it's going to be Wayne Valley point there, just past the back line, so that's going to give them the point. And now Wayne Valley is set to serve, and that serve hits the net and ties the game. Hills with the serve, diving safe to return there. Wayne Hills let it fall. I think it was called that it hit the floor before the diving save there. Yes, that will be the call, and that'll be 2-1 Wayne Hills. And that is going to be 3-1. Is that? Oh no, 2-2 actually. That return actually did end up staying in. At least that's what the officials call it. And we're viewing on a much smaller screen than usual for this game, so it's harder to see those close to the line calls. Serve from Valley and a great spike over there.
I believe that one's just going to go out of bounds. That one was a little bit to the right, and that point will be awarded to Wayne Hills, as he tried to hit that from all the way back, and it went way too far to the right. And that one's going to land with the Hills point, as they are now serving of that way. It'll be hit all the way back, as Valley will save that one. Very unfortunate there. We saw Hills. Apparently that point was awarded to Hills. At first I thought it hit the net on the spike, but it looked like it was just over, and Valley went for the block. Unfortunately, they were not able to return it, as that one just hit the net. And it'll be another net violation on Wayne Valley, as Hills is now up 5-2.
And a serve hit back over the Wayne Valley captain's head. He can't get to it, and that makes it 6-2. So a great start here for Hills. As they serve once again. Setting up the spike for Valley. And sent right back over once again from Hills. And Valley with another spike, but again, jumping up, making that save. And the spike from Hills, that's from and then that's going to be rewarded Wayne Hills point, 7-2.
So far, this entire second set has been all for Wayne Hills as they're up 7-2 and make that 8-2 as that one goes far out of bounds, far over hit by that Indians player. And now they're up by 6 points as they are nearing double digits right now as the visitors, the Wayne Valley Indians, only have 2.
It looks like that one's going to go out of bounds. Yeah, over the back line, and now 9-2 Wayne Hills. Really big lead here at the start. And that is critical for them. And that's going to be, yeah, it was already 3 hits. I was going to say, yeah, once I saw that 4th hit go over, I was a bit confused there, but refs did end up blowing the whistle, and now it's 10-2.
This is not looking too good for Valley so far as, you know, they really need a win here as they haven't gotten one this entire season so far. And then I'll put them down by 9 points after that one. A bit of a miscommunication between the Valley players as that one landed right between 2 of them. As I'm not sure if they knew which one was ready to hit the ball. That'll be another serve for Wayne Hills.
And that one's going to end up hitting the net. So Wayne Hills' biggest lead of the game by 10 points, 12-2, and now Wayne Valley is going to call a timeout after that one. They really need to get their heads back in this one. Their awareness is a bit down. They've had a couple miscommunications.
You know, starting off that first set, it was very close, a lot of back and forth. Then rounding off that first set, we saw Hills start to take momentum there as they ended up winning 25-18 or 25-17, and now they were up by 10 points, which is their biggest lead of the game, as you said, which is definitely going to help them going forward. As I mean, 2 points is not a lot compared to 12. I mean, Indians are going to need a big run, so if they're going to come back and, you know, tie it up or take the lead against the Patriots.
I mean, I don't know either, but because I'm assuming that Lakeland game was close in 2 sets because that game did end up going to 3 sets. I'm going to assume that this might be Wayne Hills' biggest lead of the season so far. And for it to happen so early, it's very critical for them. Spike over, that one's going to sail a bit too high, and that rally is going to come to an end, giving Wayne Valley a point, 12-3. They are still down 9, though. It's now Ryan Matthews checking back into the game. And it looks like that's Andrew Teicher taking a seat now on the bench. Great spike over. Hit straight to the back line, and now the spike over. Again hit to the back line. Tyler Vandervelden making a great diving save there, but it's not going to be high enough, and it's going to go straight to the ground. And Wayne Valley getting themselves another point. And just as Wayne Valley was trying to start up a rally, Wayne Hills immediately shuts it down, and they make it 13-4 with that point just there. It looks like that's going to be another point for Wayne Hills. Yes, it will be 14-4, another 10-point lead once again here. There's the serve returned. And a spike from Evan Vandervelde. It looks like that one's going to stay in bounds. Yes, it will. 15-4, an 11-point lead for the Patriots here.
This is not looking good so far for Valley, as Hills has definitely been on a great run. They're just looking like the better team here, whether that be skill-wise or they just, want to work together more than Valley does this. Maybe they just want this game more, as that's what it comes down to. Whoever has the most amount of, passion, and whoever puts in the most amount of work. As it just looks like Valley hasn't been giving it 100%, and Hills has been giving it more than 100% so far, as they're now up by 10 after that Valley point.
And now Valley right there scores another point, bringing it once again within 9, but that's not going to make a dent on the big lead that Wayne Hills had developed. Still down by 9. And that one's going to make it down by 8. No, was that saved? That was saved. An incredible diving save by, I believe, Evan Vandervelde. And that one's not going to make it over the net. So an amazing save, but it ends up not paying off, as Valley ends up getting the point there on that play. And great spike over, but it was blocked by Wayne Valley, so that's going to get them another point, 15-8. They've bought it within 7.
Valley started to, get a little closer, as it was just 15-4, and now they're on a bit of a run here. It's now 15-8, only a 7-point game, and that'll be another Valley point, as now they're only down by 6 points, and they are starting to, come back from this, as they were down by 11 points. I believe they were down by 12 at one point. And now
I actually think it was only 11, because it was, 15-4 at one point. I think that was their biggest lead.
Yeah, I believe so, but, now it's a 7-point game here, as we saw that Patriots point, as that one went a little too far out of bounds on the hit from Valley, and that'll be another Valley point, as this is now a 6-point game. They're slowly keeping it closer than before and earlier in this set, but it might not be enough to come back from this, as Hills is already halfway to that 25 mark, and as you can see, Valley just hit double digits.
So now Wayne Valley set up to serve. And a great set to Song there, but a diving save from Wayne Valley, and that one's going to end up being their point, I believe. No, it's going to be out of bounds. A great save, which again won't end up paying off. 17-10. Wayne Hills gets the possession back.
That was a very impressive dive there. Unfortunately, that just wasn't enough for that Valley player to hit it over to the Hills side, as that one goes a little bit too far left.
And that one's going to end up being a point for Wayne Valley. That one's going to end up behind Vandervelde in there. So that makes it once again a 6-point game. Great spike over. Wayne Valley still able to control it, though. They get a spike over and controlled by Vandervelde. And a diving save there. What a save. And another great save, but that one's going to sail out of bounds and give Valley the point. Now Valley is within 5.
Yeah, that'll put Valley up to 12 points there, as Hills is now at 17. Unfortunately, after that great combination of saves there, unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to keep the momentum on Hill's side, as now we see the ball is now on Valley's side.
And another point for Wayne Valley now. That might have just started the adrenaline rush, and starting to open the door now potentially. Now they're only down 4 after having been down 11. That serve's going to hit the net and give possession back to Wayne Hills. 18-13 the lead. Serve to Valley. They return it right over. And the set and the spike. An amazing spike there. I believe that was number 23, Daniel Turkin.
That one is a hard spike there off a Valley player, and it went so far back off of his hand and actually hit the opposite wall.
Actually, it was number 21, Zach Muller. And now another point for Wayne Hills, 20-13. And they're getting that lead back again, now 5 points away from taking this match. Spike over. And retaliating a big leaping spike there by Ryan Song. And that one's going to get Wayne Hills another point. 21-13.
Be another great spike that'll hit off the hand of a Valley player as he was reaching down to try to get that. Hit right off his fist, and that one just rolled away, as that'll get them another point, as they are now 3 points away from winning this match.
And the thing is, with the rotation now, that's going to bring the person who's got us the most points so far in this game, being Ryan Song, out of the rotation, and now TJ Grohl is in, but nonetheless, Wayne Hills still gets the point, and they're up by 10 once again, 23-13. So 2 more points, and Wayne Hills will be breaking 500 and getting their second win. That one's going to sail right over. And Wayne Valley, as we've seen before, can go from down 9 to down 2 in an instant. So Wayne Hills really needs a point here. They need to score a point, and it's going to be very crucial. You can't let Wayne Valley end up having a rally. And that one's going to go out of bounds, and that one's going to give Wayne Valley the point, 23-15. They're down 8. But they're starting to make that deficit just a bit smaller. Wayne Hills still has to be on their toes, and that serve is going to end up going out of bounds. And now they're within 1 point. Wayne Valley really couldn't let that happen there, but that one's going to really shift the momentum here back to Wayne Hills, and now it is match point.
Yeah, a little bit of a mess up there on Valley's part. As they're now match point, as you just said, and as we can see, I believe that's TJ Grohl serving for the Patriots. It is now possibly the last possession. And that'll be it. So Wayne Hills takes that one 2-0, both times winning by, in the first set they won by 8 points, in the second set they won by 10 points. So both times they turned it around. It was very close at the start of each one, and then Hills just took momentum. At the start of the first set, it was very close. Hills brought it out, and they won by a large margin at the end. And then in the second set, it was about the complete opposite. It started off with their biggest lead so far, with an 11-point lead, and it ended up with about 5 points. And then towards the end, Valley started to come back. but Hills decided that, they just weren't having it. They wanted to take home this one in 2 sets, so they came around and they won by 10.
Yeah, a big win for Wayne Hills, bring them above 500 and to 2-1, so now they have a winning record. And we saw on that last play, Wayne Valley tried getting it over, but it ended up on the other side of the net. I believe Andrew Teicher had hit it over, and it was wide right on the other side of the net, and that gave Wayne Hills the win, and it's a very big win for them as Wayne Valley still remains winless. So I have been Luca Yanuzzi alongside Jason Hook, and we will see